Okay, so we can grab our cushion and sit on our cushion. Ideally, if we do choose to sit cross-legged, we'd like to see the right heel in towards the groin versus the left. The left carries our karma, so it's better to have it actually in front of the right heel. And then palms can face up or down on the thighs. And then when you're ready, you can either close the eyes or keep the eyes half open, looking at the bridge of your nose. That's also a possibility. Once you've found your seat, you can take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your nose to your belly and ribs. Simply observing how you're feeling today as you come to your mat and your practice without judgment or criticism. Just simply holding some loving space for where you are at today, body, mind, and spirit. We can relax any grip in our jaw for clenching our teeth and soften the tongue. Shoulders can also fall gently away from the ears as the spine grows a little bit taller from our root, our sit bones, to the very crown of our head. Knowing that as we observe our emotional, mental, and physical state, that there's nothing that necessarily needs to be fixed, perhaps transmuted or transformed or shifted, but there's nothing inherently wrong with you. Welcoming an approach of equanimity in our practice. I'm starting to feel the breath a little more prominently through the nose, through the back of the throat, into the bottom of the belly, and vice versa on the exhale. Bringing a fine-tuned attention to the feeling of your breath entering and exiting the body. Cool as it enters, warm as it exits. Brow can soften, unfurled, gentle expression. Okay, bring the hands, the heart center, eyes might remain closed. Feel the heat of your palms connecting and each fingerprint and thumb pad touching one another. We invite an intention of love instead of fear, moving from a place of genuine joy, compassion, generosity, empathy, humility, all of our highest virtues in this series. Today, we're going to work with the ability to accept ourselves where we're at, ultimately letting go of judgment. And this ultimately will also allow us to simply let go and be within our lives. My teacher says, in order to be happy, all you need to do is simply let yourself be, to rest in the stillness and the perfection of this moment. Each moment, each breath has its own perfection. Now, when we come across a sensation or a pain or something that's snug or an emotion or a mental concept through our practice today, remind yourself, I am perfect or perfection, or this moment is perfect, and let go of the rest. This will ultimately land us in a place that is our true nature, which is love, joy, and bliss. So take a few moments to say this now in your mind's eye. I am perfection, or simply that this moment is perfect as it is. go ahead and choose and repeat in your mind. Let's rub our hands together quite strongly. Get the activity in the fingers to the arms to the shoulders right into our heart center. The hands are an extension of the heart chakra and the hatha chakra. So a little bit faster, create some heat. And then place your hands over your eyes, creating some darkness, some stillness. Opening your eyes in the darkness of your palms, go ahead and remove your hands. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Look up if you'd like. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And just notice how your heart space is feeling today. Inhale, reach all the way up from your armpits to your collarbones, back of your heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, one more time. Inhale, expand the arms really wide. Spread your fingers. Palms connect and hands to heart center. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands to the knees. As you breathe in, pull the heart forward. Okay, curve the heart forward and out to the sky. Look up, shoulders back. And then exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine away from your knees and tuck your tailbone, pubic bone to your nose. Elbows stay straight. Inhale, lift the heart. Use a little help from the hands, shoulders back, chin lifts. Exhale, curl the spine, cat cow, seated. Tuck the chin. Inhale, look up, lift, shoulders back, heart lifts. Exhale, curl. Good. Inhale, neutral spine. Let's come off of our cushion. And today we're going to transition onto our back. Okay, as you lay down, pardon me, I have to just go grab some. As you lay down, knees are bent, feet to the floor, and just make sure that your strap is nearby you. Unlike myself, I forgot to get it. Okay, as you lay down, just make sure you always, anytime I ask you to lay down, just make sure your props are at least accessible by your hands, okay? So that could be up by your side. Excuse me. Just so that it's available to you. Okay, and as we lay down, if we need to take any hair ties or anything like that out, if you have long hair. Okay, we're going to take our strap and stretch out your left leg straight. Keep your strap just across your body so it's accessible, but your hands are off of it. And bring your right knee into your chest, hands on the shin, knee, or the back of the thigh under the knee, okay, depending on our mobility. And we're just going to do very small circles with our knee, just noticing how that joint is feeling. And you can try to link your exhale to when the circle is coming in and down towards your belly. So a little more compression. Tongue is soft, jaw is relaxed. Even the shoulders are actually pretty relaxed here. And they're not needed. Switch directions with that circular motion. Good. Find stillness, breathe in, lift the knee a little away from your body, elbows would straighten. Exhale, squeeze the knee in and press out a little through your left heel. That's the leg that's long. Okay, again, inhale, let the right knee lift away from your belly. Exhale, squeeze the right knee in and then press out a little through your left heel. Good. Take your strap, put it around the sole of your right foot and stretch your right leg up to the sky. I've been sitting at a computer a lot this week. So if you're feeling a little bit of tightness in the back of the leg, just bend the knee so it's not too straining, or move the leg a little bit away from your face. We don't want this to affect the low back. Okay, maybe passively, but not directly. The hands gripping your strap, they're just kind of hanging out there. Shoulders are soft, and we can relax the left ankle. You can look up at your toes if you wish, or simply close your eyes and notice how all parts of the body are feeling. So not just observing the most obvious sensation, but the more subtle sensations perhaps around the low back, the sole of the foot, the back of the bum. You can also start to pay closer attention in certain postures, observing if your breath becomes shorter or longer from one side to another. It's not bad or good necessarily, just an awareness of the present moment experience. The subtleties of each moment can help us become more attuned in our daily life when we do this on a smaller scale, just even within the body. That ability, that capability grows. Technically, this is a forward fold, even though our leg is in the sky and our back is on the ground. So extending your exhales is recommended. Just a tiny bit of fascial movement here. As you breathe in, point your toes a little up and lift your chin a little up away from your chest. As you breathe out, tuck the chin down slightly and repoint or flex, I should say, the right toes in. Just gentle, don't make it tense. Okay, inhale, you point the right toes up, you lift the chin a little, and then exhale, chin comes down, toes come down, or even into flexion a little. Just do that a couple more times, the pointing, the lifting of the chin on the inhale, and the drawing down of the chin and the flexion of the ankle on the exhale. Okay, just a few more times. Nice and easy. It's meant to be very subtle. Beautiful. Bend your right knee in towards your chest. Take your strap across your chest just to lay it down. Place your right foot to the floor with the knee bent and take a moment to breathe. And then straighten out your right leg. Take one more breath. And bring the left knee into your chest. Bring your hands to the left shin or the back of your left thigh, okay, wherever's most comfortable. And start doing little circles with your left knee. Doesn't matter which direction you start with first. And again, a reminder, it's nice to try and make your exhale line up with when your circle comes down and in towards your belly with more compression towards the tummy. We can change directions. Shoulders are soft. We don't need them right now. Jaws relaxed. You'd be surprised how much gentle movement actually releases more in the body rather than forceful or movement that creates actually more tension. And come back to center here. Hands are still gripped. Inhale, let's straighten the elbows, lift the knee away from the chest. Then exhale, squeeze the thigh down towards the belly using some strength in the arms. Again, inhale, lift the left knee away from you. Exhale, as you squeeze in, press out through your right heel, flexing your right ankle. So it's pushing in the opposite direction of the left knee. One more time, inhale, lift. And exhale, squeeze in and press through the right heel. Good. Take your strap around the sole of your left foot, bring your left leg up. Check out how that side is responding today. We may wish to have the leg a little further away from us or even a tiny bend in the knee. Okay, we don't want to overdo it for the back. We can always adjust the longer we're here, yeah? You can look up at your toes, potentially close your eyes, and let's focus on lengthening our exhales. We like to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose if possible. This connects to your parasympathetic nervous system, your calming and your cooling nervous system. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of our fascial movement now. We link breath and movement. As you breathe in, we'll point the left toes up and lift the left chin a little. As you breathe out, flexion in the ankle toes come down and chin draws down. Good. Inhale, lift the chin, point the toes. Exhale, chin down, toes down. Good. Do that a few more times on your own. Tongue is relaxed and jaw is soft. Okay, last round. And then we can bend the knee into our chest and release the strap across the body, placing the left foot on the floor with the knee bent still, right, to let the sacral area adjust. That's like the tailbone area. And then we can straighten the left leg out and take another breath. Good. Let's bend the knees, feet to the floor. Take a roll to one side and just sit up temporarily. I'm really starting with a strong foundation or base today. You can take your pillow or bolster closer towards the center of your mat, but not at the center. Okay, we could have a couple other pillows. We could have more height here if we wish. And then just put your legs over it, get fairly close and lay down. And then place your feet right on your bolster. Okay, you can bring the feet together, knees open wide, so your ankles and the sides of your calves are on your pillow or bolster. Then the option here would be to maybe have something under your head if you like, or if you got a fairly heavy blanket, we could put it over our belly and our chest. Or if we want more grounding, right over our feet and our legs, give it a little throw down over there. Ideally, we would like at this moment the palms to face up. But if you're finding the mind still really in your day, then I would take that tactile sensors of your hands right to your belly and your chest to feel the rise and fall of your breathing. Welcoming back our theme of letting go. Letting go of judgment or expectation for this moment or for what the body can or cannot do. What our emotions should or shouldn't be. And you can repeat the affirmation we started with of I am perfection, or this moment is perfect as it is. If we can accept this moment as it is, it's almost like you can't really have expectations or judgment because you're in a complete state of embodiment this moment. And acceptance that each moment, as high as it makes us feel or as low as it makes us feel, is perfect exactly as it is. I am perfection. or this moment is perfect as it is. Nice deep exhalations through the nose, but we can have a sigh here and there, which is very nice for the vagus nerve that runs through the back of the throat and through the rest of the body. And let's take our last 3 breaths. If you have any blankets on your feet, you can take them off. Bring one knee into your chest slowly at a time. So we're nice and gentle. Maybe the hand cups the knee as it draws in so we can guide it and then give ourselves a little snuggle. Now a soft rock across our low back from side to side with 3 deep breaths. Okay, take a roll to one side and move your way up towards seated. Take our pillow or our bolster to the end of our mat, or top of our mat, I should say. And it's meant to be a little bit higher so that the shoulders and the rib cage from about, if you feel like the bottom of your rib cage all the way to the back area, it's just above the waistline. The end of the bolster is essentially going to be just above that. Okay, so it gives us a very big heart opener. And I'll give an alternative, of course, if your height feels like too much, like we can't breathe, or there's an emotional reaction. We want to always find a beautiful home-like balance in our restorative postures. As for the legs in this posture, we could certainly have a few options. So because I'm going to be laying back in a moment, our legs can either go in the diamond shape you were just in if you were enjoying that, but I would recommend having some props. So I have blocks, but perhaps you have extra pillows or blankets that you can cozy in there. Okay. Another way is we'd have the legs straight and perhaps the extra cushions under our calves for a little lift. Okay. And we could even have more pillows or blocks under our knees at higher height. Okay, which is going to soften the back bend, because even though we're working through the heart space and the shoulders and the throat, this is all connected. The fascia line goes all the way down to the pelvic floor. There's many different crisscrossing lines to the body down through the quads as well. So this might make it even more gentle So you just have to find what you feel like is good for you today. I think I'm going to do under my knees today. Okay, just for the sake, I don't want to end up off my mat. I'm going to bring this a little closer. Right? And we're going to bring just about the bottom of our rib cage, not even, maybe a little higher, on the bolster, our head on the bolster, and the arms are going to go out wide. Now, if this feels like, whoa, like that's a lot, then one of the ways to still get the stretch in the heart and especially through the pec and the shoulders in a loving way is to put blankets under our arms so the ground moves up towards the arm versus the arm trying to reach the ground. Okay, so it's definitely a few prop posture for sure. I'm definitely going to do the arm variation here. And the arms could absolutely just be down beside us. But if we want to get a little more expansion through the heart, I would recommend stretching the arms out away from the body at some angle that is comfortable for you. Okay. Remember, in this practice, it's about you learning what's best for you in this moment, not what you think you should do or should be able to do. And holding a compassionate space if we feel we need to modify one or two options through the whole posture, excuse me. It may take a moment or two to settle in this one, so don't be shy to do that if needed. Okay. And do some wiggling, whatever you got to do, and then we'll settle in. And because this is a bit of a back bend for sure, we do want to send more attention to the inhalation for this one. And making sure that it's expanding through the sides of the ribs as much as the front of the heart of the collarbones. So that feeling of physically expanding the rib cage out away from our center line and the gentle collapse. Like spreading your wings on the inhale, the wings of your heart and your lungs, and the exhale, that gentle collapse or drawing in. It's a perfect place to repeat in the mind's eye. I am perfection, or this moment is perfect as it is. And if thoughts pull you away, use that affirmation to anchor you back into your body. Sometimes we can have thoughts that come through that really want our attention, are really pulling our awareness emotionally as well. And they're fleeting, no matter how permanent they may seem, they're ultimately fleeting. And unless our attention, our awareness is giving them life by focusing on them, they will ultimately dissolve anyways. So do your best to give yourself that moment of, yes, I see you. And then return back to the feeling of your inhale, expanding your heart wide in all directions. And the exhale is a decompression for the whole spine. Great place for sighs here. Start to slide your hands down towards your hips if they're out wide, and place your hands on the front of your hip bones, your pelvic region for a few moments. Turn your head gently from side to side. And start to bring your legs back in so the feet can be on the floor. So taking your time from whatever position your legs were in. And once your feet are firmly rerouted, press just a little bit through them and take another breath. Tucking your chin, start to make your way up slowly. And once you're up towards seated, just take a second here as well. So slowing down, even the transitions are very powerful for the mind to shift conditioning as well. Okay, take a little turn towards your bolster. Turn it horizontally today. You might wish to have your blankets accessible on below or above, and you may wish to have another pillow for between your knees. My one knee is feeling a little sensitive today, so I'm probably going to use the pillow. We're going to do our side bend, just because we are getting into cold season, and the side bend, the compression around the rib cage is really great for the lungs. So you do want to make sure there's a tiny bit of space from your hip to your bolster. However, here, if you're in a full pillow size, it's more important that there's space between your armpit and the side of whatever you're using. Okay, so we'll lay, just for instructions wise, let's go ahead and lay your right side, your right ribs on your pillow or bolster. And we like to try and make sure we're as perpendicular, essentially, when it comes to like the width of our rib cage to our cushion, and that the armpit is really free, so we can reach our left arm out. Excuse me, right arm out. Right arm out. We can have a pillow under our head for comfort, or a blanket like I do. I'm going to go a little higher today, as such, and then the comfort between the knees is up to you. Some people find knee to knee is fine. We can also have that extra level of gooey comfort with our cushion. Okay. The alternative for the side bend here with the legs is that the top leg, the left leg, could actually slide back somewhat behind the right. And that does give a longer line from the left armpit down to the left knee. Okay, it's kind of up to you and how you're feeling today. Lift your left arm up to the sky, turn the palm to face over your head, and reach way, 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 way over your head. Okay, the fingers may tap down, but if they don't, please don't worry about it. Let the arm relax completely. For most of us, the elbow will slide forward in front of the face, and that's completely natural and perfect as it is. Yeah. Focusing once again on our inhales for this particular posture. The breathing in, the light and expansion through the left ribs to the sky. And the breathing out, the compression, okay, of the right rib cage in towards center line. Do our very best to have no tension in our left fingers. This is such an important posture for your breath, your lungs, your digestion, your spine. It kind of hits a little bit everywhere. It's really lovely to do. If you can ever do it every day, it's great. Okay, stay with your body. Stay with your breath. You are perfect as you are. If you feel like there's some compression or blockage energetically or physically in tension, know that that's just there to tell you some information. And with the simplicity of your awareness on it, helps to transform, helps to transmute that energy into more freedom, into more awareness. Jaws relaxed, tongue is soft. You're welcome to stay exactly as you are, because this can take it really can take some time to settle with the compression on the one side and the expansion on the other. However, at any time, you're welcome to do the slight twist. We would lift the left arm up. Okay, so it's stacked hand over shoulder. Palm faces the same direction as your gaze. And then we would let that left arm be a dead weight to open us to the left, twisting the heart open, turning the gaze. Even our left leg might slide a little bit to the left. We may need to adjust what's under our head. You might end up in a small back bend twist. Very accommodating always to our low back. So if it feels like too much sensation, we can slide the left hand down towards the hip a little more, so it's not so much pull through the left pec. Okay, it's not necessarily about how can I get the biggest sensation, but how can I find a balance between sensation and the ability to breathe and be aware. And cultivating some balance. This is a good one to breathe to your belly. The deepest part of this little twist is going. Letting go, softening, melting. Last few breaths. If you're in the open twist, we're going to use the left hand, reach up to the sky slowly, untwist ourselves. So we're right back on our side body with the left arm in front of the heart, perhaps even on our pillow. Our gaze is back towards the right hand. And we pause for a few breaths, noticing any shifts or changes. Maybe the breath feels more full or expansive. Because we've been in this one for quite some time, I would recommend you take more space to peel yourself off of your cushions at any time now. And we will have a rebound in between this one. And your rebound could be child's pose, which I'll demonstrate, seated, or laying flat on your back for shavasana for 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, I should say. If you wish to do child's pose, I'll demonstrate it now. You turn your bolster vertical, put a pillow or a block under the top, possibly also under the bottom, depending on how low the hips are on the heels. Make the bolster nice and close between the inner thighs, the knees wide, and you lay your chest down on the bolster. I can't fully lay down because of my mic. Okay, and then the arms could slide underneath it. It's like you're giving yourself a big hug. Secondary option, if the hips are a bit higher, we could make more height at the top end of our bolster and lay down from here so that the bolster meets us. Okay, the other option is you can lay on your back for shavasana. Yeah. Okay, so I'll be here for about 2 minutes once you get there. It's a great place for observing the body with an openness, with a generosity of your awareness, and compassion for everything that it does for you. It does so much for us. Okay, we'll move into the other side. But please know if in your rebound you really need more time, you can always take that. You don't have to be right on my timing. Okay, so we'll do the other side. Horizontal bolster cushion. Lay the left ribs over and free the left arm out in front of you with perhaps something under your head. My armpit has no cushion right up to it. Okay. And the left hip is kind of at the edge or a little bit away from the edge of the cushion. Might be different depending on the size of what you're using, yeah? We can stack the knees, put a blanket rolled up between the knees or a secondary pillow. Depending on what's going on this side of the body, because it can be different. I'm noticing a pretty big difference actually today that I'm going to need to take a little more time adjusting for this side. And just allowing our right hand to rest on the bolster. Or if you get into you're like, oh wow, this is really it's really comfortable, then you could potentially lift the arm right over your head and do that expansion through the side body. So I'll just demonstrate momentarily. Arm overhead, nice big stretch. You relax the arm and then you just let the elbow and hand and arm go wherever it wants to. If that means in front of your face, it's totally fine. I'm going to adjust today and keep my arm down by my side until my rib cage adjusts. And then I might move into that variation, but it's up to you when you move into it. Or you can always stay as like I am doing with my right hand in front of my body on the bolster. That's also always available to you. Once you've settled, found your spot, take a couple deep breaths and just notice if you need any more adjustments. Sometimes the body is really thrilled about postures, and sometimes no matter how much pillows you stuff under you, it's still not super pleased. And that's just part of the process. And it's a perfect time if that ever happens for you to come back to I am perfection. And this moment is perfect as it is. Holding a genuine compassion for the body and for whatever we're experiencing today, emotionally and mentally. Your inhales are expanding your ribs up to the sky. And the exhales, feeling that gentle compression in the left rib cage in towards the center line of your body. As the mind starts to unwind and the body starts to soften, we may have thoughts or memories come through. Maybe even things we're surprised that we're thinking about. Just stay with your breath and your affirmation anytime you feel like you've wandered or you've caught yourself in a fantasy or a dream. You can stay here or reach that right arm up. Use it like a weight to open the body to the right, letting the heart turn to the right. The head and gaze might turn more up, and the right knee might even slide back. We can have the right elbow bent if that's a little more comfortable, or the right arm could be right out beside us, away from the hip or quite close. You have to find your gentle sweet spot that you can still breathe in, still focus in, but find a rejuvenating quality about. Tongue is soft and jaw is relaxed. I am perfection or perfect. This moment is perfect as it is. If you haven't taken a really deep breath in a while, go for it. Perhaps a sigh to go along with it. And when you're ready, take your last few deep breaths, and then we'll start to move out. If it's the kind of posture you feel like you're not quite done with, you can always stay longer. When you're ready, you lift the right arm first, bending the elbow, bringing it close to your body to untwist, unwind back to your original position of laying just on your side body with the arm in front of the heart. Few deep breaths to adjust. Without any kind of rush, you can move towards child's pose or laying on your back. In child's pose, again, you have the option of a high front end of your bolster or an even length when you lay down. Ideally changing which ear is down this time. If you don't remember, don't worry about it. We'll take about 2 minutes here. If you want to be uber comfortable about it, you might even throw your blanket across your shoulders to cozy you in. We're not here too much longer though, but just in case. Okay, let's go ahead and move to our final posture for our short Yoga Nidra today. You can take your bolster closer to the end of your mat where your calves would be. Actually, I'm so sorry. Let's put it under the knees because we do want the heels touching the ground as we did last time, if you recall. And then if we want to make this just uber comfy today, feeling like it's one of those days as we get closer to, to winter, is you can take a blanket with some slack on the end. I've got a pretty good amount of slack, and wrap it around your feet and under your heels and separate your feet a little bit. Okay, so you still feel your heels on the earth. And then tuck your blanket underneath your calves and maybe even under your thighs a little bit. So you're kind of like cocooning yourself in. It feels really nice. Okay, and then you can lay down from there. I have to adjust. I got to wiggle down a bit so the heels are still on the ground. And maybe you're covered with your blanket. If you have a secondary blanket, you can put it over your shoulders or your pelvis for more grounding. Then we'll lay our hands face up, ideally outside of the blanket, just because the sensation that touches our fingers and thumbs, there's a lot of neuroresponders in the brain, and it can actually be too activating. So just make sure there's nothing touching your palms. Adjust the head comfortably, adjust the neck and the shoulders so you can feel as comfortable as needed. And then take 5 breaths to settle in into as much stillness as you can. And work with our Yoga Nidra. So during Yoga Nidra, we focus on the act of hearing and feeling, heightening our awareness. And the only thing is to remember is to follow the voice of the instructor with your feeling and your complete attention. Now close your eyes, allowing them to soften and sink towards the back of the head. Bring your awareness to the breath in the body. Take a big inhale, and in the next exhale, let your body fall completely heavy. And again, big inhale and exhale, completely letting go. Let your body fall heavy. Sinking deeper and deeper, just letting go. Now become aware of the sounds outside the room, one by one. Now bring your awareness to the sounds inside the room, one by one. Now bring your awareness to your entire physical body laying on the floor in complete stillness. From the top of the head to the tips of the toes, feel the body become heavier and heavier. The legs fall heavy, the arms, the head falls heavy, the whole body melts, letting go. And say silently within, I am practicing Yoga Nidra. I am awake and alert. And now we begin to rotate the consciousness through different parts of the body. We will move quickly from one part to another, and all you have to do is bring your awareness to each part of the body by either imagining or simply bringing your awareness there. Or you may choose to repeat the name of the part of the body after the voice. Now we begin. Bring awareness to the fingers on the right hand, the palm of the right hand, the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, and right armpit. Bring awareness to the right waist, right hip, right knee, right ankle, sole of the right foot. Bring awareness to the sole of the right foot. Bring awareness to the toes of the right foot. Remaining awake and alert. And now bring awareness to the fingers on the left hand, the palm of the left hand, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, and the left armpit. Bring awareness to the left armpit. Bring awareness to the left waist, left hip, left knee, left ankle, sole of the left foot. Bring awareness to the sole of the left foot. Bring awareness to the toes of the left foot. Remaining awake and alert. And now bring awareness to the back of the body. Both heels touching the floor. Both buttocks touching the floor. Both shoulder blades. The back of the head. Bring awareness to the top of the head. The forehead. Both eyebrows. The space between the eyebrows. The space between the eyebrows. Bring awareness to both eyes, the nose, tip of the nose, and both nostrils. Bring awareness to the lips, the chin, the jaws, and the throat, remaining awake and alert. And now bring awareness to the chest, the heart center, the belly. Bring awareness to both legs at the same time. Both arms at the same time. The back of the body, the front of the body, and now the whole body. Bring awareness to the whole body, remaining awake and alert. Now bring awareness to the rise and fall of the breath in the body. Bring awareness to the breath as it rises and falls from the heart center. And now maintaining the awareness of the breath rising and falling from the heart center, begin counting the breaths from 8 to 1. The breath rises, 8. It falls, 8. It rises, 7. It falls, 7. It rises, 6. It falls, 6. It rises, 5. It falls, 5. And now continue from 4 until 1, remaining awake and alert. And now stop counting. Bring awareness to the rise and fall of breath in the body. And imagine laying in a field of emerald green grass. Wild flowers strewn about with their fragrant smelling, filling the air. The warmth of the sun caresses the skin, listening to the magical sounds of sweet singing birds. Above is a vast blue sky as far as the eyes can see. Feeling expansive, free, at peace. And now bring your awareness back to the breath as it rises and falls in the body, feeling the weight of the body on the floor. And bring your attention to the sounds outside the room. Lie quietly, keeping your eyes closed, noticing the effects of the practice. Making a commitment to bring these benefits into the rest of your day or evening. Gently begin to awaken the body with small gestures of your fingers and toes, and perhaps your head side to side. Rub your hands together, creating heat, and then place them on your eyes. Now begin to gently massage your face. Now bring your knees into your chest and roll to the right side. Gently bring yourself to an upright position and spend a moment to acknowledge the beauty inside. Giving thanks to all that you're grateful for. And the practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete.